Hi, we are from Team 6. We'll present about the disputes and issues relating to sale and purchase of the property.
I will first to introduce first part introduction. With the development of the economic, people's purchasing power has improved, and property transactions have become more and more. There are several challenges and controversies that might develop as a result of the sale and purchase of land. So, our case study will highlight salient issues and dispute orientings from the sale of land. So, we need to deal with the business disputes in accordance with the law. That is the Contract Act 1915 and the National Land Act is 1965, and main laws governing the sale and purchase of the land in Malaysia. The passing of the Housing Development Act 1969, including the standard sale and purchase agreements in Shell G&H, appeal whenever the sale is a housing developer. So the second part is the objectives. Our case study will focus two objectives. The first one is to examine that the importance of the sales and purchase agreement in a property transaction. The second one is to study the common disputes and issue of the sales and purchase agreement.
Hi, my name is Nurul Atifah. My entry number is 2C8128. Okay, for this slide, I will present about the literature review. In this literature review, the article states that disputes and issues are relating to the sales and purchase of the land in Malaysia is not a common issue. The sale and purchase agreement is governed by the Contract Act 1950 until completion of the sale. The sale is taken to be completed upon registration of the transfer at the land office, whereby a title will be issued under the name of the purchaser. Stated by Siti Zubaidah, 2007. And the landlord has been registered, which means he has the right on the land, is dealing in the torrent system, which means that the owner of the land has a 100% authority on that land. The sale and purchase agreement can be valid and achieved if mutual agreed between the two parties. But if there are some false information, the sale purchase agreement can be avoided. In the section 56 of the Contract Act applies to the contract where the time is of essence and one party to the contract has been failed to be performed an obligation in a specific time. Stated by Siti Zubaidah. Lastly, the sale and purchase agreement, the land cannot be proceeded if the property of the land can unfill the title and any related issue with a national land concession provision. Thank you.
My name is Yamni. Next, I will be continuing on discussion of Objective 1 of our project, which is to examine the importance of sales and purchase agreement in a property transaction. SPA serves as a framework for negotiation and also used when making a major investment such as real estate. It is important to inspect SPA, which holds all residential properties under the regulation of the Housing Development Act 1966 and the Housing Regulation 1989 when it is sold by developers while the residential still under construction. This is because the differences can have a big effect on some aspects of property ownership. Besides that, it is crucial for all the both seller and buyer to keep track of their cost and form of payment written in SPA, as it can identify any potential problem areas through a reliable validation process throughout review of the SPA. Furthermore, when buying or selling property, it is important to read the title document back and recheck for the limitation of interest. A limitation of interest limits the landowner's ability to negotiate with his properties. Moving on, while closing a contract between parties should not close the transaction on the same day. This is because anything could go wrong if one lacks an agent and the sales and purchase agreement is written by and signed before a solicitor. Finally, terms and conditions in the SPA should be brief explain about the status of the property being sold so that if an agreement turns out to be false, the customer will be able to sue for the violation of the agreement. Next, I will pass to my team member to continue on this presentation. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and very good day to everyone. My name is Nur Fazlina binti Abdul Halim and my metric number is 264332. So, I would like to present Objective 2, which is to study common dispute and issue of sale and purchase agreement. The dispute of the SPA, Developers Abandoned Housing Project. So, basically, when faced with the abandoned housing project, the purchaser experienced the damage and losses. So in addition to making housing loan repayment, the purchaser also had to pay the rent. However, purchaser has the right to terminate the contract. Issues of SPA. So conditional upon compliance with restriction in interest. It means that the landowner required to get permission from state authority before selling the property to another. So when we look in the Pobiro Habib Bank's neighborhood versus Low and Sons relatives neighborhood cases, the vendor entered into the contractual agreement that need approval.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti Najami Tasman. My metric number 265045. I will continue presentation for recommendation. There are 3 recommendations here. In this report, there are problems in clause. The sales and purchase consent often serve as an offer document from the buyer to the seller. Purchaser also have a sunset clause in the bid, which set expiration date for the offer. Second is, it is important to seek legal advice before signing a sales and purchases agreement. This suggestion may convince buyer that having a lawyer or conveyance review the sales and purchase agreement before signing. Lastly, buyer and seller have to get warranties and statements. So, in conclusion, sales and purchase agreement is the starting point for deciding the buyer's right. A buyer's interest can be lost if the agreement is incorrectly written because a busy seller might not even want to meet with the buyer. In Malaysia, the sell then build housing distribution system has resulted in postponed and abandoned housing project. Thank you.